My name is Emma. I am 10 years old. My pronouns are they, them.
Cool. You know that you're being recorded. That's all cool?
Yep.
Okay. What kind of female role models do you currently have?
You, because you introduced the LGBTQIAP plus community to me, and helped me come up.
Awesome. Do you have any real male role models?
It's hard to come up on the spot. If I had time to think about it, I would.
Okay. What are some ways that you believe like sexist ideas and stereotypes that our like society kind of pushes on us have affected your outlook on some things?
Well, when I used to, not now because now I understand it.
Yeah.
But when I was younger, I play soccer, and I also, when I was younger, did too. And I took a year because somebody told me that girls played ballet and danced. And some girls do. That's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. And guys play sports, and some guys play sports, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing either. So I quit and started playing ballet for a year, and I realized that I didn't like it, and that it wasn't okay for me to follow that just because one person said that, and that was a stereotype. So I went back to soccer, and I realized that I had a lot of fun doing it, and I still play now.
Awesome. Have you noticed any different like treatments towards men and women in different like settings, like at school, maybe at soccer, or like maybe you've seen your teachers get treated differently?
I used to do this old camp. I still do with my father's old soccer coach from college. I did one of his camps, which you would do it every day for a week. And all of them were guys. And you can tell that some of us I was getting treated different because everybody thought I was a girl. I would get, partnered with some of the better people because I was a girl, because I was worse, to balance out the teams. And all the guys would be talking to each other and making fun of me because I was a girl playing soccer.
Yeah. And speaking of soccer, what other kind of activities do you do, or like, including soccer? And has anyone ever like discouraged you to do that because of certain stereotypes?
Well, as I said, soccer. People have told me not to play soccer.
Yeah.
I also do piano. Not a lot of people have discouraged me from doing piano. Yeah.
Okay. How do you believe sexist stereotypes like change how people are raised, or like how you were raised?
Well, I believe in the past, a lot of people would think that girls played with Barbies or dolls, and boys played with soccer balls and toy trucks or just cars. And I think a lot of people that, in your childhood, you look back on that to one of your best memories.
Yeah.
And then the parents of us are thinking, oh, my best memories were when I was younger, so I'm going to give that same treatment to my kids.
Yeah.
To be a good parent, of course, and then it keeps going on for generations, and it keeps having the same output of girls play with dolls and Barbies, and guys play with car trucks and balls.
Yeah. How do you believe like this affects people, like men and women being brought up differently and having different expectations put on them? Like, how do you think that affects them later on in life?
It affects their parenting, and it affects what they see other people to be. Like just because I've been called a guy because I have short hair and I was wearing pants. And I've been called a girl because I had my hair up and was wearing a skirt, so it looked like I just had a bob in, and I was wearing a ponytail. And I think that needs to be stopped because just because I look like a girl doesn't mean I am a girl. And I'm also neither. And I kind of see it as a deck of cards. As hearts is a boy, and spades is they, them, and all of them have the different pronouns. And if you were to put it together, everybody would and give them saying like, pick your first card, who's the strongest. Everybody would probably pick boy. Then you could do, and you could switch that out from people who looked like guys or people who look like girls, and you would put them in a line and you would say which one looks the strongest. People would probably pick the people who look more like guys, and some of them would be females because some people just look like guys, and that needs to be stopped. Some people don't look like guys, some people don't look like neither.
How do you think non-binary people, such as yourself, experience sexism? And how do you think maybe people like you experience sexism in a different way?
One way people are that are non-binary, such as myself, can be sexist or just homophobic, is if I've been asked, my pronouns before, right? And people have asked questions, that's totally okay. But it's to the point when you ask them their pronouns, and you purposely or purposely say a different pronoun even though you asked. Like it's okay if you forget. No, sorry.
And you correct yourself.
But it's the point where you just ask them and you continue to still do their old pronouns.
Have you seen or experienced sexism kind of on a almost like a subtle or day-to-day basis? For example, being told that's not very ladylike, or people like you don't do that, stuff like that. Have you ever been told that?
I was playing soccer and somebody was in the net, and I just was running there and I saw a ball, so I of course shot it into the net. And there's two boys running towards it, and they started screaming like, "Oh, girl shot a goal!" And I think that's very, it's subtle, but it's very sexist, because just because I was a girl doesn't mean I shot a goal. You could have been like, "Oh, somebody shot a goal," that's in a good way, but the way they said it and the way their tone of voice was, it was in a way that it was sexist, but nobody said anything about it.
At this time, had you come out as non-binary too?
Yes.
So they also misgendered you.
Yeah, it was actually this year.
As a non-binary person, how do you think that sexist stereotypes have been pushed on you to maybe act a certain way?
Well, I came out to somebody, and I think the way that we look is really pushed on us. You have to wear pants. You can't wear skirts because that's too feminine. Wearing pants is now been kind of recognized as both now, I think, but it's
more
still
androgynous.
But it still is to some people boyish, I guess. And I think that needs to be taken care of, because you can't just say that if somebody's wearing pants, you have to have a look, and they're non-binary. They have to have short hair, they have to be wearing certain things, and they have to look genderless because that's what they are. It doesn't have to be that way. Say I'm wearing a skirt, I'm still non-binary, I'm not female. Say I'm wearing pants, that doesn't mean I'm a boy or non-binary. It means that I am non-binary even if I'm wearing something else.
Yeah. And has your like identity as a non-binary person ever been mocked or not taken seriously, especially in like environments that claim that they are accepting?
Yeah, I was in class. Actually, it happened today. Um, I don't know how it started, but somebody brought up it, and I was like, somebody asked me something. I was like, no, I'm not a girl. Because, oh yeah, it was, somebody had short hair. We were actually watching Howl's Moving Castle, and Howl had longish hair, as he does. And people were like, oh, he looks like a girl. I was like, just because he has longer hair doesn't mean he looks like a girl, just like me. Just because I have short hair doesn't mean I look like a guy, even though I'm not a girl. And they're like, what do you mean? And I was like, aren't you a girl? And I was like, no. They're like, aren't you a boy? And I was like, no. And it's like, so you're both? And I was like, no. So she said, what are you? And I was like, and somebody said, they're an alien. And someone said, pterodactyl. I was being mocked because I was like, I'm neither. And I kept having to say that because people were like, they're a robot, they're an alien, they're a pterodactyl. And it was even somebody who I came out to was like, they're an alien. I was like, no.
Oh, that's